You know what I wish for? That in one day, like for content creators, like you will just have like programs that work with AI that just like read your mind and know what you need for from cameras, from audio, from editing, camera switching.
Okay, guys, welcome here in my studio with someone you have missed. I know you've missed him. Admit you missed Alberto. Alberto, they missed you. They will
Missed you too, guys.
So, before we dive into some details of your life at the moment, maybe we should start with the cool projects that we are releasing soon. What do you think about the WTC? That's the Well-Tempered Clavier. We're going to pre-sale that in September, as well as my first Bach organ recording. That sounds cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, organ CD. I heard only the first part that you edited. Like I didn't hear the second half.
Oh, the second part is even better.
Okay, then I guess
it's amazing.
It will be a surprise for me as well. Huh?
No, I'm really proud of that. Certainly also on the first part of the Well-Tempered Clavier, which is 300 years composed, and we're going to pre-sell that in September somewhere. If you want to stay on top of that, and I know all of you want, there's a link to my email list, and I didn't use that quite enough lately, also not using the link, but that's the best way to be informed on that, because you don't want to miss that. We are going to launch it again, first on CD. The LP is going to be launched later, but again, same thing as the Fifth Symphony. You will get the opportunity to have your names on the albums. And for the Fifth Symphony, I know we had, I think, over 100 names, and people just like it. And I understand it's being part of that. It's like a virtual handshake. And so that's coming up. I just wanted to address that as first in this update.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are a lot of updates. We have been very busy. But we didn't share too much about what was going on behind the scenes. For instance, you graduated from Conservatory.
Absolutely. I'm officially a master in piano. So,
and you had a
cum laude.
Yeah.
You were at my exam, so it was nice. Like at the same time, weird to see him in Conservatory, but it was a nice experience. And you witnessed my piano recital. The first time you heard me like play on a modern instrument.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, no, I was really impressed, actually. I mean, people might forget that I can listen to music played in a different way, because let's be honest, you had no opportunity to play there
in a different way. Absolutely not.
But I kind of admire this. I mean, how ridiculous is it? Like the day of your master's exam, we were hanging out in your apartment. It was a really warm day.
Yeah.
It was lunchtime. I said, "You don't want to have lunch?" No.
Like literally 1 hour before the exam, like you came to my apartment.
But you only had your Italian breakfast, which is an espresso coffee in the morning with sugar, which actually is not very Italian, huh?
Well, I don't know. Like I know that it's
new
my breakfast.
It's your breakfast, but you didn't have anything else to eat, and your exam was around 4 or 3 o'clock.
It was at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Exactly.
And so we went to the concert hall. We were there basically 2 of us. I was in the back, in the hall. Took a seat, and then you started practicing a little bit. And then the piano tuner came. And I thought, like, finally in the conservatory, an instrument that's quite okay in tuning. Now that piano needed to be tuned, so you didn't have any preparation time for your exam.
No, really, just a short warm up, and then we were set to go.
And then you came on stage and you started to play for 1 hour. And unbelievable.
It was I guess I've been trying to do that as well. Like, but it felt good, especially after. And
I enjoyed it. I mean, of course,
it was a nice day actually.
The interpretation, so to say. Of course, we have a different perspective, but you played very well. And some pieces that maybe it's interesting to share your program real quick.
Basically, the main piece was the Brahms third piano sonata, and then it was basically anticipated by a series of short pieces of Couperin, Scarlatti, and a small.
Which I enjoyed very much.
It was nice, yeah.
I mean, Couperin on a piano?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Pianists play Couperin on piano. I don't know if Sokolov is.
I mean, if you play Bach on a piano, kind of used Scarlatti.
Yeah.
But Couperin, that music lives by the sound of the instrument sometimes, and the Stein is like just too big of.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like that. It felt really nice.
Played from a Bartok's edition, by the way.
Yeah.
So it was a really nice experience.
We're going to come back on the Bartok editions of that.
And then, we had a nice time after. Went to drink something. And, it was nice. End of the story. I'm done with the I guess with conservatories in terms of piano. Like
you're completely free man right now.
Probably. I don't know. Needs to be seen.
We're going to come back on. What was interesting in your story there is that like this friction as a student still, but having a strong idea with questions and how the official academic world responds to that. It's something that we need to address carefully because it's not an easy situation.
It's not an easy situation
for both sides.
We can say that a little bit of this will be also to talk about that later, addressed in the book especially for students who will get to know the research, read, and maybe are interested in trying. They should anyways be aware of a certain situation that you find in conservatories, and so it's we'll dive into that a little bit in the book, but certainly later with a more
and for people just to know, you will be settling in Belgium.
Yeah.
Not far from my place, so we will be able to collaborate in the future on a more regular basis. Having said that, collaboration, we are collaborating now on a fantastic project, which is one of the Beethoven symphonies, but I don't remember which one. There's one that we didn't record right now.
Ninth.
Not yet. The Ninth Symphony. So, guys, just for you to know, and I feel a little bit guilty, but for not updating you, but
we should have announced that a little bit earlier, but it's what it is.
The channel also is going through a transition. This video, actually, this update, this like little podcast or chat that we had in the past a few times. The channel is going through an update. Like we followed some lessons in this, we learned a lot, and so you will see some changes. We might even open one or two other channels, for instance, to have the music separated from the spoken videos, and maybe we have another channel where we have this kind of content, and perhaps also invite other musicians.
That would be super cool.
Yeah, it would be cool because, I mean, you can talk in the comment box about our tempo perspective, but it's so much better to just talk about this in person.
Here. And we want to be challenged. It's like...
So all of that to say that, Alberto was very busy, obviously, with his master's exam. You practiced
40 hours a day to set violin.
So all to say that there's much more happening behind the scenes that you might expect. So for instance, the Ninth Symphony, we are preparing this now. We're recording 21st of August, 2022 for rehearsal on Wednesday.
We are heading to the first general rehearsal with the 4 singers.
are looking forward to sing. That's also nice to tell. Like they're
we hope we won't kill them or they won't like die out of breath during the rehearsal.
We're not going to reveal their names yet. But it's of the highest level that we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So people with name recognition and with a reputation. If you want to see us practice, I'm teasing people to go on Patreon, but I cannot do otherwise because I'm not going to share our practicing sessions openly on YouTube, but I'm sharing some practicing sessions on Patreon. Just head over the link in the description box. And by the way, you're supporting the projects we do, and we do a lot. For instance, the Ninth Symphony.
Yeah.
If things go right with the rehearsal, I'm not afraid of that. It's just we need to see if we can actually record the Ninth at my place, which is beautiful piano and clavichord. But the four singers will add a lot of sound pressure. And if that's okay, we will record probably the end of September, the Ninth Symphony. We will do the piano parts of the other movements the days after. Yep. And then we are preparing the release of that as well. Maybe still this year.
And we have the Ninth Symphony is complete.
We have the Ninth Symphony. Yeah,
almost.
Yeah, of course. But I don't think we updated here on YouTube that we actually recorded the 8 symphonies already, ready to be released on CD and vinyl disc. Did we?
I don't know.
I forgot. So
we have them. They are there.
Okay. In terms of the recordings, 5th Symphony is in production right now. It took some time. We had a Kickstarter for the vinyl disc, was successful. We're really happy with that.
We didn't expect that.
It was over 5,000 euros we needed, and it was done.
Totally didn't expect that.
Also, the CD went well. Both are in productions. The CD we expect to have hopefully in September, at the latest in October, so we can start sending that. If you want to have it, there's also a link in the description box to our website. I'm sorry to send you off YouTube on this video, but it's so much that we need to update you on. So that will be available. The vinyl disc will be only for January. There's a waiting time between 7 and 10 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Due to the success of LPs, which is great, but also
Yeah.
What else do we have an update on? Oh yeah, we are going to release the WTC one, and I am really happy with that recording. Yeah. And one of the unique things, it will be 3 CDs instead of 2. Most of the times it's 2 CDs. Guess why? My tempi are a little bit slower.
Yeah.
No, I'm really happy. Maybe if we open another channel, that recording goes in its entirety in one video on the channel. I don't know. We have to see, and it's very complex. But when it happens, you will be notified. As for now, you find already 8 of these recordings on the channel. They are published. As for your Preludes of Chopin.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For those of you who don't know that these recordings were made already in December last year, huh?
Well, the preludes,
much earlier.
The preludes in June 2021.
And after that, you recorded
Scherzi and Ballades.
And Etudes.
The Etudes before.
Even before.
At the beginning of 2021.
That long ago. Oh, amazing.
Almost 2 years ago, I guess.
So that sounds ridiculous. If you could say like, why aren't you not releasing that on YouTube and elsewhere? It's because we need to have a plan. We're working on that, and I'm not going to say names, but I'm working with some people that really are helping the business side of all of this. Like, for instance, bringing all the projects into templates of project management. Like, it's just, if you were for one day here and just would see what needs to happen before you release a CD, it's a
lot of stuff.
Yeah, and you could say, like, I'm producing a CD. That's maybe not the difficult thing, but it's everything that it takes also for promotion and for, you have to make financial plans and things like that. So that's the reason why all of that recordings are basically on this computer that is recording this podcast on.
And on my hard drive.
Yeah.
That's my life there.
Another update. The book, I'm working hard on that. Yeah, I know it sounds ridiculous. I mean, Is there a project we're not working hard on? Like
800 pages book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard on that.
So there are 4 people now working on the book, which is obviously myself and Lawrence. Though Lawrence parts has been finished quite some time, let's say 1 year at least. He is sometimes updating here and there, was waiting for the translation. So the parts of Lawrence are in the midst of being translated by a professional copy editor and proofreader. I don't know exactly what kind of specialities that he has, but
it's definitely he's translating a book and editing.
Yeah, and he's Dutch speaking and English in mother tongue, and reads German quite easily and French as well.
Yeah.
He's an amateur singer in a Renaissance choir, so that helps enormously to understand the terminology and things like that. But it's a very, very, very difficult job. I mean, translating German is difficult.
Yeah.
German, you have this ability to invent even new terms by just, stitching together 2 terms like Taktteile, Taktarten. I mean, it's unbelievable. And English is struggling a little bit. You don't have that broad variety in terms. For instance, Schlag, that's beat. But you have Taktteile, which is actually also kind of beat.
The parts of the tactus or like...
So all of that is really, really difficult. And also the translator there is... if there is, for instance, Quantz has been translated in English quite decently, so he uses those translations. There has been published, of course, books on the same literature, 16th, 17th, 18th century treatises in English, so it's also there to find the right terminology. But then Lawrence German is like, if German is difficult, Lawrence writes like here. It's a sentence that starts here, and you need to read everything. And then here you have the meaning of you have to break it into parts. And then my part is being rewritten. I'm writing my pseudo English in the UK by also, I'm not going to name names, but they will be in the book, obviously. And so where are we? We promised each other that, and I think it's feasible to have at the end of October the first fully translated draft manuscript ready. Yeah. Don't kill me if it's not going to happen, but we need to have it there, because then we are coming together at the end of December. That's the plan. Early January, the 4 of us. But now with the ability for each of us, both Lawrence and I, and both translators, to have the full manuscript like fully absorbed. I can go over Lawrence's part, Lawrence can go over my parts. We know then for sure, we know what's in the book. We have an overview of what is the position of each chapter, each part, what's missing. Things might be also redundant, so what can be left out eventually. Are we going to deal with quotations, with footnotes, with all of that it's streamlined? And then we go into phase 2, which is just the finalization of the manuscript. We already have contact with the person who's going to do the layout, and I can tell you it will be amazing. And further than that, we're not looking into the future, but 2023, we aim for publication there. So the body of the book is actually ready. Are we going to tell the people what the content of your chapter?
Well, I kind of said it a little bit earlier.
Go ahead.
It's like on it's a small chapter for conservatory students, and how they can eventually deal with this research in conservatory, if there's a solution to this, or if there's an answer that I can give. But it's mostly like sharing my experience and put that a little bit in perspective, because especially in music schools and conservatories, students tend to forget that that's only, their experience will represent only a small part of their musical life and not the totality of it. So
It's
important.
Yeah.
It's important to keep that in consideration.
No, absolutely. And also the way we address that is super, super important because it's sensitive. And
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I say we as a channel and you involved in the channel as well. Like we took a little step back from tempo research on the channel. It's not going away, it's going to come back.
Don't think you can save yourself. You can escape that.
But it is sensitive matter also for people who are teaching or people who are playing concert on stage. I mean, we are fully aware of that. But the book needs to address this in a very sensitive way, sensible way. I don't know what's best, but also give some maybe solutions or how to deal with something that's no less than a paradigm shift.
Yeah,
it changes everything. And so, yeah, that's one of the chapters is yours that's actually dealing with that. That's true. So that is in a nutshell what we are working on. And of course, the Ninth Symphony is what concerns us now the most.
Well, we have been looking for this moment for a long time, actually.
For some years,
because we were like, how are we going to find what singers are we going to look for?
And honestly, I mean, I know that some people would say like, yeah, you won't find singers to do that. That's not the case.
Actually, we're starting with some volunteering students, conservatory students, and it turned out to be then a collaboration with professionals of the highest level, and also with a reputation and with big names, and
it's revealing to us also when taking this project to outside this YouTube bubble. But of course, I was working on the book. I was working on YouTube. I was like here. But now meeting more and more people, the response sometimes a little surprising. Like, really, we didn't know this existed. But when we talk to people, it's always, until now, a nice conversation.
Yeah, of course.
And that's, of course, we are so diplomatic.
Yeah, of course, and it's always fun to break down the problem with when you talk with people.
But to wrap this up, I mean, just to summarize that in the sense of tempo research, we have to be thankful for everyone on the channel, even if you didn't agree with us. And I know some will never agree. But of course,
actually, those are the people that we have to thank the most. The book.
We took everything seriously,
of course,
and
as we should do. Like all counter arguments, so to say, should be taken seriously and addressed in the right way. Of course.
But also, we have been pushed in certain directions, and we're not going to leave our course. But it's the way how we deal with bringing this information to you and to a more broader audience and to a broader league of musicians. And there we learned a lot in dealing the psychological factor behind all of this is really important.
Oh yeah, of course.
And we really understand also talking to people one-to-one that there are some barriers when you first encounter with the idea that we have to overcome. And the book will address that, I think, in a very sensitive way, to bring people step by step to why this should matter to you, why you can fully ignore this as well. It's fine. It's just a reconstruction of one element of history that might be just very important in terms of interpretation.
Why does this not prevent you from doing whatever you want to
exactly.
do?
And so stepping back a little bit from tempo videos on YouTube doesn't mean that we leave the idea behind, but gave us the room to just reflect on like how are we going to deal with this in the future also on YouTube. And we will see about no better way to stay informed than, hit that subscription button and bell notification, but it won't help you because YouTube doesn't send videos to you if you don't watch every video that we publish. So I know you will do that, certainly if you're not abandon this. If you're still watching now, I mean, you're watching every video.
You're a diehard fan if you're still here.
And this is really a community video, for people really to want to know what we are doing. So guys, thank you for watching, and go to Patreon if you want to hear some fragments of the Ninth Symphony, only us rehearsing. Tonight we will maybe make a small recording.
Yep.
And stay tuned for the releases of the CDs. I know many of you are waiting for the Bach to be released, both Bachs. And there's no better way to opt in for the email list, because emails you will receive, I'm not sure, of YouTube updates. So if you do all of that, we see each other very soon again on multiple platforms, and that would be cool. More women, more Alberto, that people can wish for. Thanks for being here, guys. Have a nice time, and we see each other very soon again. Bye.
Bye.